So welcome to Real Thoughts Project. Welcome to the live stream. If you're watching this after the fact, I hope you get something out of this too. So I appreciate you being here as well. We're just gonna just chat on the way to work. I'm gonna do my drive. I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna let you guys see the road on the way in to go live stream on my other channel and also do some door dashing over there. But for now, this is what we're gonna do. Just gonna hang out, talk about some things I've been thinking about. Out here at the Dollar General. I'm about to head out right now. Yo, 1776. What's good? How's it going? How's it going? I'm on the way into work. On the way in to drive for the other channel. Hope everybody's doing good this morning. So yeah, I'm thinking today, man, I've been thinking about a lot of things. A lot of things. What's up, Angela? Thinking about a lot of things, like about life and people in the past, people that I've spent time with. What's up, Tom? Good morning. And things change. Things change. It is good. Things change for the better. Things change for the worse too. But when you're always, you go through life, you go through stages. There's all these stages that you go through, and there's of course, when you're in high school or whatever, and then you get out of that, and everybody's going to college, everybody wants to party, everybody wants to do all that stuff, right? And I've been through that. I went through that, actually. I did that. And it's interesting, man. So I was just thinking about all these people I've known throughout my life. And some of them have disappeared. What's up, T-Gun? Welcome in, everybody. Some of them have straight disappeared, Have you ever had that happen? You ever had that happen where people just, they're there for a season, Lakeside Bar, what's up? And then they're not there. But the thing of it is that's part of it. That's part of the growth. It's part of the growth. We're driving to the drive, that's right. We're driving to start the drive. So I don't know, I was just really thinking about that, man. I've done certain stages of my life where I've moved from one thing to another for the better, I think, in those cases. And I've and then people will fall off, right? When you're not doing the bad habits anymore, or you're not involved in that, or whatever, people just fall off, man. They just disappear quick. They seem to disappear really, really quick when you're not involved in the thing they want to be involved in. And, it's just how it is, man. People will be available to you and there for you every day, or they're with you every day. I don't know if they're there with you, for you, but they're there with you every day. I've noticed this, right? If you're down to have a good time, down to go get in trouble, do all kinds of things that are probably distracting you from the thing that you're supposed to be doing in life. I say this, I believe it. I've heard people and I've had conversations with people that don't believe it. Yeah, in general, 1776, that's what we're talking about. But I've had people that don't believe it, but I think everybody's here for a reason, because I think we're all here for a reason, right? Now, I know some people may not believe that, right? You may not. And, but I do. And I think we come in contact with the people we come in contact for a reason as well, and then the different seasons and whatnot. Good morning, Claudia. So it's just something that's been on my mind. Have you ever had that? Have you had that experience? Now, occasionally you get that person that, they kind of stick with you through life. But it doesn't always happen. Don't want to be a season. Well, Tom, this is the thing. It's like, and I'm not really thinking about like you, for example, or anybody specifically right now in my life. I'm thinking about people in the past. When we're moving forward, we're going to this hustle of life. We're trying to do the right thing, like trying to do what we need to do to survive Like, I've had people, and what I'm more talking about is people that are, you know, that are just down for a good time, right? And it's like, okay, I'm just down for a good time, want to smoke, want to drink, want to do all these things. But the minute you like don't spend time doing that, they just disappear. They disappear, which is great, actually. This is a good thing. So that's a season, kind of what I'm talking about. But I mean, I feel like God sent me people, even through times like that would like protect me. They would like for example, like there's something that would happen, like whatever, in these times, in these places where maybe it's not the best place to be, and maybe I'm not doing the best things. But for whatever reason, somebody had my back, and they were there to have my back at that time. And in that not such a good place. And I'm here now because of that, right? Because of that individual. So I'm thankful for a lot of these individuals, but it's just something I think about, man. And I really care about a lot of these people, you know, for the past, but many of them do disappear. They move on. But then God sends you other people that are more aligned with what it is that you're trying to do. So I've noticed that too. And I've got a like pretty interesting and good, I think, good community online, which is really super cool. And it's like the title of the thing is like Hustle Motivation today. And what's happened is like a couple people in the chat right now, a few people in the chat right now are like part of that. And very motivating. So it's no longer like, hey, let's go like smoke and let's go drink and let's go do that. It's like, hey, let's get after it. We have a mission. Like, you're getting closer to the thing that God wants you to do on this earth, like that you're put here to do. We're finding that. And we're getting that. We're getting after it. Now we need the tools to do it. Come and go. Yeah. To give a message or receive a message. Yeah. Well, and also, you know, you also need to be careful. Like, it's also important to understand that, like, when you're dealing with a person, you never know who you're really dealing with. It could be dealing with something that someone's been sent to you specifically for a reason. That's why I give, you know, when I'm out in the world and I try to think about it, I'm like, I don't do this perfectly, but I try to think about it. It's like, try to give people a chance to, you know, I guess what I'm saying is not cut people right off like immediately just because of this or that. That person might be there to, like Tom said, to send a very important message or to be there for you in that time. But anyway, I don't know, man. I was thinking about that today, dude. I don't have like a specific, like, I guess a specific lesson that I've learned from that, other than just, it's just interesting how it works when you move into different situations. A lot of times, like, people don't like, they'll say like, oh, this person changed up, so I can't be around them. Instead, like, what I would like to see, what I hope to be for like a friend or whatever, is that when they get better, when they move on to a better level in their life, or to do something that is closer to their goal of what they're, maybe not even their goal, but their purpose, because we might not even know our purpose sometimes. That I'm happy for that person and want to, and if I could be there to support them, good. If I'm going to be a hindrance, that's not a big deal, to just let that person do what it is they got to do out of love. But I've seen people try to hold other people back too. That's what I'm kind of saying. And it's like when you move into that other phase, a lot of times they will actually just, those people will disappear and the right people will show up. So you got to do what you got to do, and keep moving in on your hustle. Like if you're working on something, if you're building, and you know that you know what you're doing and you know why you're doing it. Don't stop, man. Don't let people A, hold you back, but B, also be ready to embrace people that are sent there to be a good part of your life. Tom being a great example. Tom came into our internet community and just like started sharing like his wisdom and sharing, being very generous as well. But I think also it's not about that as much as he did a video talking about investing in people, and I like dig that video. It was a very kind of, we'd all had an interesting night that night collectively, I think, in a way, and this was his message from that. I really dig that message. Message you share and you don't know why. Out of obedience, you share it when defined. There's a ripple effect through the community. Yeah. When I was I'm not gonna be able to do as good of a job keeping up with the chat on the drive today, guys. So I trust that you guys. I'll try to read those later. I always try to go back and read, especially on these short live streams like we're doing right here. But I do want you guys to put what you want to put in the comments. It's very interesting. So, but yeah, I hope I'm not getting like too weird on this one, but it's just something that I've noticed in life. And I've learned, even from the people that faded away, I've learned a lot from them. And so everything is for a reason. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I do. I believe it. And I think I've seen it. I've seen it play out. I can tell you that it is. But you do have to get after it. Sometimes you can't hang around and just listen to music and smoke and drink, and sometimes you got to move on from that. You got to go do the thing that you're meant to do. Maybe it's to be a father, maybe it's to be a mother, or maybe it's to be someone who comes into communities and has a good message for people. But don't ever feel bad about being that person and doing that thing that you're being led to do, man. God's got you going in a certain direction. It's for a reason. It's for a reason. David says, picking up what you're putting down. Cool. That's what's up. So yeah, the thing is, like, so let's go. Let's get out and get after it, right? I hope that what I'm doing, like personally in my life, like I'm trying to build this channel to try to do things to, I've felt like I should build this channel in a way that we could talk about the things, even if they're more sensitive things than, people probably want to talk about when we're driving around door dashing. But there's a deeper reality to everything. Everything's, kind of connected. And I want to be able to get into that with you guys. Yeah, Claudia, that's a tough, and that's when it's really gets tested, right? Your faith really gets tested. But we are told that, God can, even the bad things can work to our good. And so if we have faith, then we have to have faith that that's true, right? And I think I've seen it, in life. But faith is also, having to do with things that we haven't seen. So we have to still live forward and live in life. Maybe not even having seen why it is that we're doing what we're doing, or why we are where we are, where God's got us where we're at and what we're doing. But yeah. It's a lot to take in, and it's a lot to think about, and it's even more to live it. But we have to live it. This doesn't walk away from several friendships because it just didn't align with what I wanted to be. Yeah, people don't align, and it happens. Now that I'm stronger than I knew I was, and that could be a lot of it, Claudia. That's we're revealed. You get things revealed to you over time, and I don't know, but I kind of thought I was going to be talking more about like the hustle, but we ended up kind of going this direction, which is just fine. That's what the live streams are about. And the hustle has a lot to do with it, because this is the daily life, the grind that we have to live. We have to work. We have to eat, and to eat, we have these needs. Like, every human has these needs in life, and like, it's kind of crazy, but we got to work to make the bread, right? Like, that's what people say. And it's just funny because that's what we end up doing the most, right? Like, you guys, most of the time when you guys see me on the other channel, I'm working, right? And it's because that's what we all have to do at some point in our life. So that's where the hustle comes in, man. You've got to get out and you've got to get after it when it's time to do that. I don't like those situations he knows we can handle. Well, and that back and forth thing, Heather, I mean, I think that's a normal thing. Success isn't linear, and I mean, I believe our growth isn't necessarily linear either. We have these fallbacks, and we fall back all the time. Like, it happens to me all the time. We have, I like, one day I'm like, man, I'm super solid, dude. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing here. Like, that's almost a dangerous place to be, really. Like, be almost overconfident in your faith and your, all of that, and then that gets brought into question, and then it's like, okay, now I really need to. That's the most important time, probably. It's where the growth comes from, I think. But yeah, growth isn't linear. I think we're in a growth phase. Like, I think we're here in life to grow. So, and that's kind of what this is all about. When we're talking about the people that fall away from our lives, and maybe they come and go, like Tom said, they come and go, and this is good. It could be a very good thing, and they could be a blessing. These people could be a very, very big blessing in our life, and then come and then go and then come back, and maybe even be a blessing again, or maybe we get to bless those people. But either way, I feel like it's all for a reason. Do you guys feel like it's all for a reason? There's a reason for everything. Let's pull it in over here. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on the live and on the drive in today on this channel. Look at about to get pumped up, dude, and go do some driving daily. Even to this day. So a while ago, I lost my cousin, and she was 9, cancer, and that was the start of decline. Yeah, it's hard for us to understand why things happen, and I don't have the answers for that. I really don't. And honestly, I don't know if anybody does, but sometimes somebody might have a word that does, help us have fun in nature. What's up? Welcome in. But over the past year, slowly getting back up to the point where I used to be. It's good. That's good. Have you seen this channel? 7 years ago, DDing a lot of tips. Kim's money plans, side money plans. Maybe. Sounds familiar. I think it might have popped up in my feed over on the other channel. I'm not sure. But anyway, I don't know if I hope you guys got hopefully we get something out of these little drives. I might do this more often, like these little drives into the city to work before we do the driving daily thing. What do you guys think? Sometimes I feel like I'm thinking about stuff and I'm not able to articulate it as well as I'd like to do, but a lot of you guys actually help with that. It's as crazy as it sounds, because many of you have more words of wisdom than I do. And so I'm trying to wrap my head around this thing that I'm thinking about. And like, I don't know where I'm going with it, but I kind of start, and then you guys just take it and go. John, my name for this bunch is Real Thinkers. I like that. Yeah. Never respond to a DoorDash message. It's a scam. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Reed thinks we should do it. Let's kind of like a little round table, like, before we get started. And not everybody over there, not everybody that watches Driving Daily is probably going to want to have these conversations, And it's not always going to be about like, spiritual things or the hustle or this or that. Could be about anything, right? It's whatever I'm thinking about that morning. Could be like, we might talk about Star Wars. I like Star Wars. I'm a nerd. So we might talk about that sometimes, you know what I mean? But, yeah, I don't know, dude. If you guys like these, I'll try to keep them coming. They'll just be like a short little, 20, 30 minutes live stream. And then, of course, I have to get after it. I think that's a great idea. What, talking about Star Wars? I'm not a sequel fan, so that will put a rift in the community probably, but got followed this morning at 12:30 by a drone. We got to talk about these drones, Claudia. I think I'm going to set up an email for this channel too, because it's a little bit smaller. It's like a tighter community or whatever, where people could send some stuff. And I think some of the things I get sent over here are probably going to be a lot more serious, because I've talked about AI. I've talked about flock cameras. I've talked about, gosh, dude, some sensitive stuff. And leaving to drive. Cool, Joy. Thank you for being here. And anyway, yeah, so I think that a lot of the people that maybe have stumbled upon my videos will have some more serious, probably news related and stuff. And like, don't get me wrong, guys. I made a video about the garden, and I talked about, it's not about necessarily tuning out the news. It's about not getting caught up in the weeds and not letting those things take hold in the garden while we're trying to do the things that we're supposed to be doing, whatever that might be. And it's different for everybody, little short lives going into your, dreams going into your own. Do you mean like work, like lives going into work? But yeah, my point being is that to not let the divisiveness of the way that the news is portrayed to get in between you and thinking critically about this thing. And that's kind of what that whole thing was about, but also about planting the seeds that, that we want to have the fruit of, like to bear the fruit of. Instead of planting the seeds that, Fox or CNN or this person or that person or this political pundit or that guy or this guy or that, you know what I mean? Because we can all just look at the same information. And so if you guys have any ideas, or if you have any sources of ways that you get the news that is just quick little like briefs, that's what I would like to start to, I'm trying to figure out the best ways to do that, to just get like, what is the talking, like, so that I could see the talking points, but I don't need to hear the talking about the talking points. You get what I'm saying? Like if somebody gets kidnapped or something, right? Whatever, like something happens on the news, and I want to hear like the basic information that everybody has that they're working off, but I don't want to hear the 30-minute, 2-hour dialogue about what speculation about this and that about it. I just want to know the thing, and then I can hear that. I can receive that information within about 5 seconds, and then put it in here, and then move on and let it process in my subconscious, and I don't have to worry about all the, the programming that comes along with it. And so that's kind of how what I'm trying to figure out, how to be as informed as possible in as short a time as possible, with as much accuracy as possible, with as little opinion as possible. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. Samsung has a breaking news top stories for you spotlight. It's just part of their app and their news. Yeah, and I've seen that. I've seen that because I have the Samsung, and I do I'll scroll down it. I kind of look at it real quick. Now, there's some people that I'm familiar with that, I talk back and forth with sometimes, that are like actually associate with a couple prepper kind of channels from this channel here. and they tend to have like a lot more very serious news about goings on, like, you know, conflicts and things like that around the world. And they do a pretty good job of like bringing it up in a way that's not like divisive. You know what I mean? Like, just it's about like how to be prepared for that, like for what might come, like how is that going to affect this? That's going to affect this. That's going to affect, and then eventually affect me. Is it going to? Is it not going to? You know, is it something that, you know, there's nothing we can do about it, but we'll keep an eye on it, type of thing. So, yeah, my message has never been to, I don't want that to be misconstrued. Somebody actually called me a narrow-minded bigot on one of my channels because I said to basically not, they said I was putting my head in the sand to not, because I said not to get involved in the divisiveness of the news, the current news stories and stuff. So, you know, you're always going to have somebody that's going to come up and you know, have a problem with what it is that you're doing. You can't make everybody happy. I had a whole video about this on this channel. I said you can't make everybody happy, and you shouldn't try. And that's the truth. You really can't. You can't make everybody happy. It's impossible. You have to do and focus on what it is that you got to do. But yeah, I am all for staying informed, and but I'd like to do that. I would like to have that done in a very highly accurate, highly acute way, where I'm not getting, I don't have the time to get bombarded with the opinions. I can form my own opinion, and then I can also just keep it to myself sometimes, and but also just still be informed. So the problem these days is that you can't have a difference of opinion without being called a certain. I know, it was crazy, and I didn't even have an opinion. It was not even an opinion. I mean, I have opinions on stuff, believe me, but it wasn't like you can imagine. But it wasn't even an opinion video. The video was literally me saying basically what I said now is like that you want to make sure the seeds that you plant in your garden, your mental garden, the garden of your life, that it's the fruit that you want to bear. And I'm going to continue with that concept and trying to delve into that and see what we can get, see if we can get some, you know, add some texture and figure out how we could use that to help us in our life. You know what I mean? And my point was to not get caught up in the drama of the news and this stuff, because a lot of people are getting very angry right now at a lot of things that they have nothing that they can do. My point was there's nothing you can do about a lot of the things. And in addition to that, you know, rooting for this politician or that politician. And these are people that don't know you, don't care about you. Why basically give your life up for that? Like it's insane. Instead, like, we would be better for our country as family men, family women. The guy down the street that helps the old lady take out the trash. You get what I'm saying? Things like that, like whatever it is, like that kind of stuff. Maybe even if you make content, making content that helps people. Like, how do I do this? How do I learn you know, I'm wanting to learn this communication thing. And I got my buddy Fernando over at God's Prepared Warrior is really good with the radios. And he's offered to help me learn. I think he's offered to help me learn. He told me to contact you, that I should contact him to help me learn the radio, how to use all the radios and stuff, and like how to kind of set up networks using that. And so I want to get into that. That's kind of stuff I want to get into when I have the time. Of course, I'm working all the time right now because I've got to pay the bills. But if I can get to a point where I'm ahead enough to take a day, maybe every couple weeks, to work on learning a skill, and then I could incorporate that, you know, 10 minutes a day, practicing that skill before I go to work or after, then that would be something that I would be wanting to do. Used to be a news junkie, but now I'm a driving daily junkie. That's right. You got to watch Driving Daily all day. No, I'm just playing. I'm an information junkie too. So this will be a topic of discussion going forward. Maybe the next day or two. In the future, I don't know, because it depends on what I'm feeling that day, right? But I think this will be a topic for our discussions, for our little Real Thoughts Roundtables. I like that, Real Thoughts Roundtable. This would be a good discussion for that, because I, too, am an information junkie. I would maybe recovering, but still I am. I have to be honest with that. Like, I've gotten rid of a lot of the addictions in my life, like substances like cigarettes, alcohol, anything like that. Like, I don't really... Caffeine, tea I'm still addicted to, I would say. But I'm still a little bit I have this thing where I want to know everything. I want to know the information. Bring me the information. Like, problem with that is you get caught in the weeds. This is how it is. So a great discussion that I think would, and something that I can maybe speak to with a lot of experience of having been somebody who wanted to know every conspiracy theory, wanted to know every fact too, like everything that was a proven fact, everything that, you know, all of history of mankind, which nobody can possibly know. You know, every book, like I want to read them all. I want to know it all. I'm kind of an information junkie, and I always have been. And I say information addict, but yeah. How do we navigate as that type of a person? I think it's a blessing, not a curse. Like a lot of people say ADHD is a blessing or is a curse or whatever. I think it's a blessing. For the people that have ADHD, it's a blessing, right? I don't know if I do or not. I don't know. I don't get into that. I've never been, I don't really care about whether somebody, I don't like labels like that. But what I'm saying is we have skills that we've been given. A lot of people diagnose that and say that's a problem. Maybe being an information addict is a side effect of being a certain type of person. And maybe there's some benefit that we can derive from being that type of person, that something that we can offer the world, to be able to break down things, to provide maybe an analysis on things, to break things down into these, you know, like I was looking at I want the quick news briefs, you know what I mean? I don't want the opinion. Things like that. Used to be, your roundtable could be a top tier membership. Could be. Of course, we're on this channel. So I do want to build this channel talking about these things, you know. Notice I have not mentioned DoorDash yet. The real question is, what is normal? It's a good question, right? And I don't know if there's a good answer to that, to say that this is normal and this isn't, because it also changes throughout society what the average, I guess you could say what the average or the mean or one of those type of valuations to try to figure out what normal is. But I guess I could say this. I don't want to be whatever it is that everybody is. I don't think I want to be that. Whatever that is, that's not what I'm trying to be. And I don't think I am. Like, and so I think that is, Claudia said the same. I don't want to be normal. Everybody has value, even if you think it's beneath you. Yes. And that's another, well, that's, yeah, exactly. It's not even beneath. It's different. And that's a thing that I think we should probably easily like tap into. I think a lot of the mentality on things is like, oh, well, that person has this problem, and so they're, like Tom's, at beneath or whatever somehow. And it's like, no, dude, it's different. It's a different, like, everything has been created, like God created all of us, and so, and that's what I believe. And all of us have different values and aspects to us. And I don't look at it like it's not a tier system. You know what I mean? Now, definitely, you could begin to build a tier system with like a skill set. This guy's better at basketball than this guy. This guy's a better hunter than this guy. Yeah, whatever. You get what I'm saying? But maybe the guy that's not a better hunter has other skills. He's a better communicator. Maybe the guy that's not as good at basketball is better at baseball. Like, I don't know. It's different. We have different values. And so there's a lot that we can learn from one another. I don't have another chat phone right now. I don't think there is a normal. Yeah, I don't think so either. What's up, Sean? How's it going, dude? We're just doing a little round table before the Driving Daily kicks off. I'm about to do that in a minute. I might have to do the thumbnail and stuff and set up the live stream, because it's getting that time. I'm a little sooner than yesterday though, so hopefully I can hit the 150, maybe even the 175 before like too late tonight. Somebody on my, I don't want to get too into the DoorDash stuff on this channel, but somebody was like, you know, we can make 300 tonight, and I was like, statistically we can't. We're out of time. I felt like Tom. I was like, considering the market cap average, the average market cap hourly pay for my market and the amount of time that we're going to continue dashing, statistically, we will not hit 300. So sorry to burst your bubble. We're probably going to go for 150 because that's realistic. That's why it's good to know the numbers. We're all part of the body. Sometimes the head thinks the big toe doesn't have value. Yeah. Keep your links to yourself, Sean. No, nobody drops links on this channel. Not even me. Unless it's me. No, I'm just playing. Hope the job's going good, Sean. What's problem with young men is they use the wrong head. Touche. Yeah. Yeah. So, I think good conversation today, guys. I think we probably need to wrap it up, but I guess the idea is that we all have value. People have different value for different places and different times. People are okay. So this is something when I was talking about earlier with the people that they drop off. Maybe they're more interested in partying, and you're interested in, you now need to build because you have a family or for whatever reason, right? Or maybe you don't have a family and you're just compelled to build. A lot of people have the mentality, and this is a good mentality, that they want to build so that when they do have a family, they're building for the future for that family. That's really smart. To prepare. But maybe it's just because those people are at a different stage. They're at a different place in their journey. You know what I mean? Than you are. And we are all in a different place in our journey. So this is why some people get to come in and like provide little tidbits of wisdom. Nobody has all the wisdom in the world. Nobody does that. You know what I mean? And nobody even has a ton of wisdom like that. Nobody's King Solomon right now. We don't have that. So we have little tidbits of things that we've learned. All of us, we do. We have, and it's different than the tidbits that everybody else has. So, everybody's on a different part of their path and their journey. So maybe it's something to understand, right? So don't hate that person that just wanted to drink and smoke and hang out. If you got to go out and get after it and you can't hang out with them and they fall away, maybe that's a message too, just think like, hey, look, maybe they're at a different part of their journey. They're at a different part. They got a different path that they're going to go through to get to wherever it is they're going. And so maybe that's something to think about on the hustle motivation. What do you guys think? Let's see. I don't have the chat phone going for this one, so felt like I could keep up with it on the other chat, on the other thing. We got 20 people in here. 17 people hit the like button. I appreciate that, guys. I appreciate you guys participating. I'm actually surprised at how many people have chosen to participate in the lives over here on this channel, because it's a little different. It's not exactly the same. You were here listening. We're all crazy. Nice. Coffee Mom is in the house. So, yeah. I don't know, man. But if you guys want to keep these going, I may not do it daily, but I may do it occasionally as I feel that it's a good time to do it. You know what I mean? So if you guys think that's cool, you guys have pretty much told me that you think that's cool, then maybe we'll keep doing it. We'll build this channel up. Not everybody's going to agree with everything I say, and not everybody's going to agree with the videos that I choose to make over here, but that's the way it is. And the great thing about it is it's called YouTube, and like I was telling, I think it was Yosef the other day who was talking about the flat earth. He was trying to convince me, but he kept giving me so much information. There was no way. Need DoorDash answers. Hurry up and switch. I will. There was no way that I was going to be able to keep up with all that information. And plus, I've looked into that stuff. Like I had a friend one time that was a flat earth believer and was telling me all this information. And I was like, you know what, Yosef, I appreciate this, but I think what the best thing would be is if you made a video with that information and then everybody could just watch that video, and then that way they can make up their own mind. Because I don't have, at a certain point, certain things, you're never going to get to the bottom of it. And those are fun to delve into, but at the same time, it's like if you're never going to be able to come to a conclusion, or people are never going to be able to agree, you do have to kind of call it a day, right? And you have to move on. So you have to do that. But anyway, guys, all right, cool. Good discussion this morning. Great input in the chat. I appreciate you guys. Like I said, I appreciate you guys hanging out. I do need to get better at this as far as going ahead and wrapping this up. And let me get in the chat over here real quick and go ahead and get something else started. Let me find my... Nope. I'm not very good at YouTube, guys. Contrary to popular belief. It might not be popular belief. You guys probably all know it. You're like, are we going to tell them? All right, there it is. Cool. All right, guys. So, Coffee Mama, OG Sean White, Claudia, day 2 of no coffee and it's brutal. Oh, you're quitting coffee? Wow, dude, that must be brutal. I bet that is brutal. Reed Jones, Claudia, Tom, 1776. Who else was in here? Joy, David, Heather. Did I say Heather? Have fun in nature. I don't know if you're still here or not. But yeah, appreciate you guys stopping in for the morning. I don't know. I'm gonna come up with a name for this, I guess. But I do need to close it out. We're gonna go and do some driving. So I'm kind of pumped up for that. But yeah, let's get pumped up. Let's get excited. Let's go do it. Let's drive. All right. Like, let's do all that stuff, right? Because I'm going to get excited. And I know a lot of people watch that for hustle motivation as well. It's like a different thing. The daily roundtable. That sounds good. It's a different thing. I mean, I have to switch gears a little bit. It's still me, but I have to switch gears because I realize I have a lot of DoorDashers watching when I'm over there. And sometimes people have questions for people in the chat or otherwise. Are you going to live on the other channel right now? 1776. As soon as I end this, I'm setting up I got to do a thumbnail real quick. I got to do my little thing, and I'll be right right on there. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do, guys. All right, so I'm going to end this now. I appreciate everybody participating. We're coming up with some ideas, so we're kind of getting to where we need to be with this this channel and what we're going to do on it, because I want it to be, it's going to be a broader scope of ideas, philosophy. And yes, I know Coffee Mom always says no religion in politics. I'm going to probably touch on some of that stuff here. So let's just understand that I will probably touch on that occasionally. Okay. So, you know, if you have to click off, that's fine. It's fine with me when that happens. All right, guys. So, that's why this channel is separate from the other channel. So I appreciate you guys, and I will catch you on Driving Daily, hopefully, right? We'll do that in just a minute. All right, so I'm going to end it here. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.